I see you have an appetite for destruction.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Team Liquid Legacy Star League semifinals. I am Sale, and with me as always is Cat's Paw.
Hello everyone, nice to be here with you guys.
Alright, we are getting down to the last couple of rounds here before we crown a TLS champion. A champion of the championship, that's right. Which will net whoever wins it an amazing $800. Which I think is pretty amazing, especially for a Brood War tournament. So huge thanks to Russ Brain, our sponsor, for providing the entire $2,000 prize pool. Very, very generous of him. Actually, I'll go do a quick breakdown of the prize pool for you guys. So last weekend was the round of 8. Everyone who was the 4 players who were eliminated there got $100 each already, so it's pretty sweet. And then it goes up to $150 for 4th. $250 for 3rd, $400 for 2nd, and then $800 for the grand prize, which is pretty amazing. So today we're gonna have both semifinal matches, and the next weekend we will have a 3rd, 4th place match as well as the grand finals. So that's all super duper exciting. And we are finally on to best of 5s. So we're gonna have 2 best of 5s today, which could open the door for some very interesting mind games or cheesy shenanigans.
Yeah, and especially the best part about this is that if you have a best of 5, you definitely have some room to do something crazy. But at the same time, they're going to be careful because they know that the stakes are getting really high right now.
Definitely, definitely. And quickly before we start, our Russian casting team is going to be casting again today. So if you prefer listening to the cast in Russian, then you can head over somewhere. I don't actually know the stream link, but it's there somewhere. I'm sure you'll be able to find it on defiler.ru or somewhere. Somewhere should have the link. Someone might post it in the chat. So yeah. Otherwise, I think we're ready to begin. So today's 2 matches are going to be dsaqwe versus lancerx, followed by Koget versus Dragon. A PvP and then a PvT, not a single Zerg in sight against all odds. Could have done with 1 Zerg here, but then we would have, of course, had the risk of a Zerg winning the whole thing. Although Dragon does race pick, so Dragon in the next round actually will be playing Zerg, regardless of who wins, because it's PvP on the other side of the bracket. So we are going to have some racial diversity there. Yeah. All right. You ready to start the first match then, Cat's Paw?
Oh yeah, I was born ready for this.
All right then, dsaqwe versus lancerx will be the first match at best of 5, starting on electric circuit. Here we go for game number 1. As soon as I check if our Russian casters are ready, gotta be good mannered here. All right, everyone's good to go. Even my cat's pumped, jumping on my lap. Nice. And game number 1 at the top right position as the green Protoss, we have dsaqwe. And at the bottom left as the yellow Protoss, we will have lancerx.
Okay, so I gotta say, first game on a pretty big map. I really like this because it's really gonna test their maybe not only the kind of builds that they want to try, but also at the same time their macro, how they feel against the other player. I'm pretty sure they got a pretty good idea already, but definitely this is something that they've been preparing for. So,
oh yeah,
I love that it's on a map like this.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, since it is a PvP, all the back ramp and our only shenanigans probably won't come into play too much. Interestingly enough, one of the most memorable games I have on this map was actually a Pro League. I think it was a Pro League game where one of the players went 12 next to the mineral only, and then didn't actually build a forge or 2 gateways or anything. He just went for a normal 1 gate and then tech build. And it was only because they were, and luckily his opponent spawned cross map, and of course it's a really, really long rush distance between the bases, so he completely got away with it, and it was actually a really, really sweet build to watch.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about something that, for example, you'd be really afraid of when you're going something like 12 next, it usually involves something like proxy gates. But on this map, proxy gating isn't even like, it's a viable thing. You could put them in the middle, but the distance is still relatively long to any base. So
Yeah.
I would say that if any of these two players, if dsaqwe or lancerx decided to go for 2 gateways in the middle, I would be really surprised about that. So they both anyway want to go with a 1 gate gas, which I think it's gonna be mostly to test the the situation. They want to play a standard first game and then start from there, knowing how they are playing against each other. So it makes a lot of sense that they're going for something like this at the beginning.
Yeah, they both actually checked the middle of the map as well. lancerx actually did the full cross-map scout, whereas dsaqwe went to the middle and is now going to the top left, so a bit unlucky for him not getting the immediate scout off. The good thing though is that, of course, it's all a flat map, there's no ramp or anything to block here, so the probes should be able to get in here even if there's a Dragoon out. It can just suicide itself to get a full scout, which I think would be worth it even if there was the Dragoon there. But I don't know, I don't think the Dragoon will actually be out in time anyway. Yeah, the core actually for Lancer is significantly later than the dsaqwe's core. Oh, the failed Manor Pylon! Whoops!
Yeah. Oh, maybe that was so delayed because he did want to try to get that Manor Pylon, but now with the Zealot out, it's probably not worth it.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely not, especially with no Zealot coming in here. I don't actually know why there's no Zealot on the other side here for lancerx. I assumed because his core was slower, right? So I thought his core was slower because he got a Zealot first, but there's actually no Zealot. Maybe he cancelled it and is now making a Dragoon here. I'm actually a little bit confused by what happened.
He did try to get the Manor Pylon, and I think that's what the difference. It's
Oh,
still the same amount of
okay.
minerals.
Okay, yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Now, I have to say though that one thing that is really interesting for me is that now that the probes are getting out of the bases and we still have 1 gateway core for both players, and if you look at the range, it's not that much faster for the dsaqwe.
True. Yeah, especially given the long distance, it's not different enough to make a difference in the game. So it doesn't really matter that Lancer's a little bit slower. We are seeing the second gateway here from dsaqwe. Both players going 2 gate. Note, of course, because there is no ramp, you have to be a little bit more careful. If the opponent goes for like some mass Dragoon pressure and you're trying to go for a 2 gate robo, it can be a little bit difficult for you depending. Yeah, it looks like dsaqwe actually going for 3 gate. This is I always recommend 3 gate on flat maps, but I feel like I very rarely see this build, at least in this tournament so far. So I'm glad someone's actually finally doing this.
Well, we did see a lot of crazy things that we wanted to see, like 12 next, so going for something more standard, I think makes a lot of sense, because at this point, especially in a best of 5 the first game, you don't want to risk the first game, you want to at least get to a pretty good mid-game, so that you can maybe not, I would say, like, get your hands warm and get ready, but definitely to be a little bit more in the flow, understanding exactly how the game is supposed to be going. So I completely understand it, but the one thing that I find quite interesting is that dsaqwe went for 3 gates, and even though it's a very long way, he's not scouting anymore, so he's banking a little bit on the fact that it's not going to be DTs, and so far that's going to be working for him.
Yeah, definitely risk, and lancerx is going for the 2 gate robo. One thing I wasn't sure about, there was a goon running around in the back of Lancer's base. I don't know if that was bugged out on the pathing or if he did that on purpose to check for probes. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was looking for any kind of hidden probes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to actually move it slightly weirdly to actually get there. Now, the thing... Oh, Lancer. Oh, he's going for the expansion, and it's 2 gate robo against 3 gate.
Danger zone. This could be a very fast game because the attack is coming exactly as he builds the Nexus. He is at a goon deficit here. 6 goons against just 4 with the Zealot as well in favor of dsaqwe. I think Lancer might lose right now here. One thing I didn't even have time to point out, dsaqwe actually has been mining with only 2 guys on gas, and that's completely intentional. You don't actually need the full 3 if you're not even making a robo. The probe's now coming off for lancerx. This is really, really bad for him. He might barely hold on, but he's going to lose a lot of probes in the process, but I don't think he's even going to do it. Good job by the goons hunting down the enemy goons, but I think that's going to be game.
It's probably going to be game because of the 3 gates are still pumping up, and even if he holds, the economical loss is too big.
Yeah, the goon's still surviving here for dsaqwe, and remember he's got 3 gate pumps, so you see 3 more fresh dragoons coming in. no Dragoons are out here, and GG from lancerx.
Okay.
Woo!
So that was a first. Okay, the first one was pretty fast. And I gotta say that I'm not really that surprised. PvP is something that can go really wrong really fast.
Yep.
The only thing I don't understand about lancerx, if he was going to go for that kind of stuff, you would usually want to keep a probe somewhere close to the exit of your opponent, so that if you see him walking out, you can put some pylons in the front to at least try to get yourself a better engagement.
So about like 30 seconds before the attack went out, he actually did suicide a probe at the front. I think at that point there were 3 Dragoons and a Zealot.
Yeah.
So it looked very similar to what he had himself. So maybe he misinterpreted that as a 2-gate opening rather than a 3-gate or something like that. But yeah, it's really funny because it was risky on both players. If lancerx was going DTs, I think dsaqwe would have instantly lost. But then of course but then on the other hand, lancerx went for a build where if dsaqwe was going for mass goons, 3 or 4-gate goons, then he would instantly lose. And it just happened that it worked out in dsaqwe's favor. So,
yeah, I mean, one thing that did surprise me, however, considering he went for a Nexus before he got the Reaver, and if I remember correctly, back in the days, what people used to do is they would get like 1 gateway Reaver and then expand with the Reaver.
Yeah, just slow Reavers, no shuttle. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, but if you go for 2 gates, you're delaying the Reaver, and you're still getting the Nexus at a... Okay, it might work anyway. Like, if your opponent is passive, it might work. But I would assume that at this level, both players know that they're not going to sit in their base. They're actually going to be doing something on the map. So maybe a little bit too risky. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. But on the other hand, since it is a best of 5, taking a risk in game number 1 is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Going down 1 game is not really a big deal. So we are going to be going straight into game number 2 on Aztec. 3-player map. And let me check if our fellow casting team is ready. All right, sounds like they are. So, game number 2 between dsaqwe and lancerx. Here we go.
All right, let's go.